We are a modern fragrance house. I started in my garage. Last year has been our biggest year to date. We did 20 million Australian. Every fragrance is a different character, stepping into a different version of yourself.
You talked about Sophia Richie very quickly there.
If Sophia was a fragrance, it would be Nomad, and did this cool little video. I posted it, went out and saw a play, woke up the next morning very hungover. And my husband said, check TikTok. Sophia Richie had commented on the TikTok that I posted the night before saying ordered. There was an order from Sophia Grange. I ended up going to Sophia's house and meeting her, having some wine and caviar.
What do you take away from that experience?
Be delusionally optimistic. I used to be so shy when I started Who Was Elijah. I'm a completely different person now.
Hilarious.
We launched October 2018. Milestone moments that got us to that next level was big retail partnerships. We've partnered with retailers that have been detrimental to the business.
Tell me why they were detrimental.
The brand
What's
alignment.
The lesson?
I'm sick of making mistakes though. But then we've had some other good things, and we launched in Sephora, Australia in 2021. We just got Revolve. We're like very known for our guerrilla marketing.
You're so good at it.
This is like still a dream come true.
Hey business besties, welcome back to Female Founder World. It's Jasmine, I'm the host of the show, and today I'm chatting with Raquel Bouris. She is the co-founder and chief creative officer of Who Is Elijah. Welcome back.
Hi, how do you remember all of that?
Well, I mean, I follow you on Instagram. I do these podcasts every week. Like your story is ingrained in my head because I follow you, and you are so good at building this brand in public that I feel like I know everything about what you're doing. You've been on the show before, like a couple of years
I've been on the show. I know it's been so long ago.
Like 2 years maybe.
And it was it's still a full circle moment. But you were one of the first podcasts I started listening to at the beginning of Who Was Elijah.
Okay, I love it.
Yes, I'm like, it's every time you ask me to come on, I'll be there. I love
Amazing.
it.
Yeah, because this was very last minute. I was like, we've got a gap in the studio recording spaces in like 2 days. Let's do it. And you said yes.
Here I am.
So we love this. I want to just introduce the brand for people that don't know it. So like most of our community are based in the US. I feel like everyone in Australia who listens to Female Founder World knows Who Is Elijah, but I feel like you're entering the US, or it's kind of like a new market for you.
I have some news for the US that I probably shouldn't say, but I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I just signed a contract with Revolve.
Shut up.
We're launching in like 6 weeks.
Oh, amazing.
So I think the US is about to really start to know us.
Okay.
We just started working with an amazing PR agency over there. So I'm so excited. I'm going there. I'm going to be there for Halloween. So I'm going to be going back and forth every month now. So I'm very excited to like grow in the US.
Okay.
It's been such a long time coming.
Yeah, it makes so much sense for you guys. Okay, but what is Who Is Elijah?
Sorry, I skipped. What is Who Is Elijah? So we are a modern fragrance house. I started in my garage. I started filling bottles with Source bottles in my garage. I was working full time. We make beautiful fragrances. I did that really bad. I'm so bad at telling stories. But we make fragrances, and we're less about the memories that every other fragrance brand talks about, and we're more about every fragrance is a different character, or like stepping into a different version of yourself or a different alter ego.
I love it. Like when I look at your messaging and your products, it's kind of like I think about this quote often when I'm getting dressed, particularly now when I'm like pregnant, and I feel like when a woman has a crisis about what she's wearing, it's actually not to do with what's in her wardrobe. It's more about who she needs to be that day.
So true.
And it's like, I can't find anything that reflects who I need to be today.
I love that.
And I feel like your fragrances are like, who do you need to be today?
Yeah.
Like, who are you today? And you get to pick that.
And we hope we're giving you a little bit of confidence to step into that, because sometimes it is hard to step into that boss bitch. I want to ask for a $50,000 pay rise, or I want to become the COO or the CEO. So I used to be so shy when I started Who Was Elijah. I'm a completely different person now.
Hilarious. Because you're like so like radiant. You radiate confidence and energy.
Yeah, and I didn't used to. Like honestly, it's been like the last 3 to 4 years I've really come out of my shell, and it is because of Who Was Elijah. It's not just because of the perfume, obviously, but it's everything that I pushing myself to step into a different version of myself as the business has grown. And I just want to bottle that and give it to everyone.
I often think that building a business is like the ultimate experience, like the ultimate self-actualizing experience, like whether it goes well or whether it goes badly. Like you are pushing yourself into a journey of growth regardless of how the business goes. And like I feel like you have every time you overcome something new in the business, it like unlocks another level of confidence within you. And I can see that in you. Like I can see it in last time I spoke to you a couple of years ago versus like the person that you are now.
Oh, I feel like a completely different person, honestly.
Crazy.
Yeah, I love it.
Are you able to share like a revenue milestone of something that you've hit?
Last year has been our biggest year to date. We did 20 million Australian.
Yeah.
This year we will hit the same because we pulled back. But next year, hopefully 40.
Yay. Raquel. So when did you launch?
We launched October 2018, so it's our 7th birthday next month.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend too much time in the early days. And folks, I'm going to link in the show notes the original conversation with Raquel so that you can go back, you can listen to it, and you can get that backstory. But just like in a really quick kind of nutshell, are there any milestones that you think about, okay, over the last 7 years, things that you guys have achieved that you're like, this was crazy in year 2, this was crazy in year 4? Like help people piece together what your story looks like through the good stuff that happened and the bad stuff that happened.
There's been a lot of bad stuff, a lot of
Yeah.
learnings, but there's been a lot of good stuff as well. I think like a lot of our key milestone moments that got us to that next level and feels like a bit of a jump in these moments was like big retail partnerships. So David Jones is here in Australia. That's one of that we launched with them in 2020. So that was quite early on.
That's so quick.
Yeah. And I think it was like the year of COVID, Australian made. I think that sort of opened up a door for us. But they took a chance on us and now they've put us in every store across Australia now. We're doing so well. I think that's been like a really key moment. And then we've partnered with retailers that have been detrimental to the business, and we're still trying to clean up the mess of that. I won't say who, but
don't say who, but like tell me how they were detrimental.
the brand
What's
alignment.
The lesson? Yeah, right.
Like, so we positioned ourselves as a luxury brand with David Jones, and then sort of went down to like more of like a pharmacy level because 3 years ago Raquel saw an almost $2 million PO. Of course, I'm going to say yes.
Totally.
But if they came to me today and said, "Here's $4 million," I'd say no.
Yeah.
Which some people I know, like early on, if I heard this, I'd be like, you crazy, but that has hurt the business so much more. We probably lost more than the PO because of that. So sort of like cleaning up the mess, I think. But then we've had some other good things, and we launched in Sephora Australia in 2021. That's been incredible. We're launching in Sephora UK next week, which is awesome. We just got Revolve. We just launched in the Middle East. So it sounds like a lot of it has come from retail, and I used to maybe think like, oh, like should we be focusing more on our D2C? And I wish I did it in the early days because we just went straight into wholesale and retail. And then we sort of pulled back from wholesale and retail and focused on D2C, whereas we should have been doing it together.
But you only have so many resources and everything. Like you can look back at your story and think, oh, we should have just been doing everything, but something's got to give.
Yeah, I know. So now we're focusing on both, but I kick myself sometimes, but then I'll tell people some struggles that I'm having and I'll be like, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I hope that I don't like it. I don't like when I listen to other founders and like I sort of know that it's not as shiny as what they portray. So I try not to be that. I'm probably too open and honest about all of our struggles.
Yeah.
But even still people say like, oh, it doesn't look like that from the outside. But where this year has been such a tough year, but it's been the best year in terms of learnings. I feel like I've got like an MBA of business now. So
yeah, you absolutely
I'm
do.
feeling very confident. I'm just so excited for this year to be over. But I'm like the most confident I've ever been.
When you were kind of in the early years of the business, what were some of the things that you did to get traction?
So we're like very known for our guerrilla marketing.
You're so good at it. You're so good at it.
Yes, I think
like you personally are so good at it. Not just the team, but like the way that you show up as well.
I do it because I love it. Sometimes a couple of years ago, it was hard for me to go into the streets and do it because I felt so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But now I'll just run up to someone and be like, hey, you look like you need a perfume. But I do it because I want to, but I also do it because you know, as the face of the brand, people respect it more that you are on the ground hustling. And I think like if everyone can do that, do it because you get so much more cut through than Becky from marketing will get. You know, no disregard to Becky. I don't even have a Becky in my team. But yeah, I think like guerrilla marketing has been how we've really grown the brand, a big part of how we've grown the brand, especially in Australia.
I want to talk about some of those guerrilla marketing moments just to show like the level of, I don't know, you're the kind of person who sees an opportunity and you're just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Let's go. And everything is a content opportunity, I feel like, for you guys. And you really know how to maximize a moment in the business to leverage it for the most like reach and virality. And I think you do that really well and like engineering those moments. And I want to talk through a few of the times that you've been faced with an issue and then or an opportunity and you've used these like guerrilla marketing tactics to kind of meet the opportunity or overcome the challenge. And the first thing I want to talk about is London and the UK and Boots. And I think this is actually where we left off last time. I think you were just
we were
kind
just
of
about to.
you were just about to. You just got a no from Boots and you wanted to expand into the UK. And then next thing I know, you're on a plane and you're heading to London. So what's that story?
So they said no to me because we had no brand awareness there. And even like 2 years ago, I didn't even understand what brand awareness truly was, which sounds so crazy because now it's all I think about. So basically said, no one knows who you are. So I jumped on a plane with 500 of our discovery sets that have all of our fragrances in there. I took my content girl with me and we stood out at the front of Piccadilly, Boots and Covent Garden and handed out our discovery set. I think it was like 500 of them to customers walking in and out of Boots and even the Boots staff. And we did lots of content and kept tagging Boots. They probably thought we were so annoying. I didn't hear from them, but 9 months later, I get a email from the head of fragrance of Boots. I jumped on a Zoom call and then they basically sent us a contract straight away.
Wow.
So then I thought, well, I'm going to move to London because they loved what I do here in Australia. And so we packed up my whole family, moved to London.
Because you have kids.
Got two little kids, my dog. My dog's still there. I live back now in
it's,
Sydney.
It's hard to relocate.
My sister lives there though, so
Okay.
he's with her, so it's okay. But long story short, that worked. That the guerrilla marketing worked. We signed with Boots. We launched onto the Boots website and in some stores. But then I quickly realized this brand alignment is not good for right now. So we've just parted ways with Boots very amicably because we were getting no's from everyone because we were in Boots. Yeah. So I had to undo that mess as well.
Yeah. But this is such an important lesson. We've got this program called Retail Bootcamp that we have, and it's all about.
I should join it.
You should. I feel like you got the hard won lessons. You should teach.
Yeah, I should do both.
And it's all about how brand and positioning is so important with retail.
Yeah.
And you really need to decide like who your North Star retailers are and commit to them, because if you go for the wrong one, like you won't get into you won't get into the ones that you want.
You got to start from the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start from the top, work your way down.
And in terms of like prestige or premium. Yeah.
Yeah. So we should have started at Selfridges. But I love Sephora. We're a Sephora brand here in Australia. So it's all worked out fine.
Yeah.
All good. But that's probably like a positive that was kind of a negative, but led us to where we are. I'm a big believer in the universe, so I trust the universe.
Yeah.
I'm sick of making mistakes though. But then we've had some like better moments, like the Sophia Richie moment.
Yes. Okay. I want to talk about Sophia Richie.
I thought you were going to ask about that.
I am going to ask about Sophia Richie in a moment, but I want to still talk about London for a little bit. So you moved home. Why did you move home? I mean, I lived in London last year for 10 months. And
I just didn't enjoy it. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I've never left Sydney before, like moved out of Sydney before. I just didn't love it. It was miserable.
It rains all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like death by a thousand cuts. I think it was a bit of everything. I love London. I'm going there next month and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I don't want to live there. I can do everything from here. I am so happy to be on a plane every 2 weeks.
Totally.
And my kids are safe in Australia.
Yeah.
I was leaving them in the country with a nanny because I had no one around me to help and wasn't comfortable for us.
Yeah.
So we moved back. We only lasted 4 months.
Okay, well, welcome home.
Oh, thank you.
I did 9.
Oh, you beat me.
But there's lots of great things about London. No hate
No
to people
hate
that
to
are from there,
London.
but it is very different to Sydney. And if you don't have your like crew and your friends and your family there,
it's hard to make friends there too because
It is
everyone lives
really
so
hard.
far away.
It's actually similar to Sydney, I feel like, in terms of making friends. In
Yeah,
that people are born and bred and they've got their like
Mm.
school and uni clique, and it's like quite
Yeah.
hard. Whereas New York, you go to, everyone is transient and international. It's so easy to
Okay.
make friends.
So I would have thought London was like that, but
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's probably
Yeah.
like different circles, but I definitely found it
Okay.
hard to like make new friends. Okay, so you talked about Sophia Richie very quickly there. Crazy. I followed
know.
along this story on
Wild.
TikTok as well.
So this was while I was in London. It was near the end of my
When was
stay.
it? Like what? Not that long ago.
Oh, like 4 months ago now,
Okay.
probably. Not too long.
Yeah.
I think it was in May. Oh, no, it must have been in April because I moved back in April. I think it was in
Mhm.
April. So I worked with a UGC agency in London while I was there, and I give them the brief of sort of like what to say. And one of them was Nomad. I have always said that Nomad is Sophia Richie in fragrance form. It's effort luxury. It's like if you look at Sophia, that is what you imagine she smells like.
That's one of your fragrances.
Nomad, yeah, sorry. Nomad. And so one of the creators said, basically what I just said, if Sophia was a fragrance, it would be Nomad, and did this cool little video. I posted it, went out and saw a play, woke up the next morning very hungover, and Adam, my husband, said, check TikTok. And Sophia Richie had commented on the TikTok that I posted the night before saying ordered. And I just said, no way. So I logged onto Shopify US site and there was an order from Sophia Grange. and to a house that I assumed was her house at the time. And I just looked at Adam with my hair all a mess and I said, I'm going to fly to LA like now. And he goes, yeah. So I called my PR agency. I got them to Uber a bunch of fragrances to my London house. And I was at the airport 4 hours later. And I documented the whole thing, had my content girl with me, and we vlogged it. And by the time I landed in LA, I think like 8 or 9 hours later, I had been put in touch or in contact with Sophia's manager. And so the next morning I woke up in LA and I messaged the manager and I said, hey, I don't know if you've seen, but I'm in LA. I swear I'm not a crazy stalker, but I would love to hand deliver it. It doesn't need to be to Sophia. Happy to leave it to security because she did put her home address in. And so she said, yep, no worries, just please don't film the house. And I said, no problem. And so we filmed me driving to the house, but then sort of cut the cameras. And then I gave it to security and I got there and they're like, hey, Perfume girl. And I was like, oh my God. I gave it to them and then they said bye and I walked back to the car and Jasmine, my content girl, was like, are you okay? And I'm like, I was not expecting to walk in there. Like, this is like still a dream come true. Anyway, thought it was done, went to Air One, got a smoothie, and went back to the airport to fly back to London. I'm sitting on the ground, no makeup, in my Qantas pajamas, and I get a phone call from an American number, and it's Sophia's manager. And she said, hey, Sophia got the perfume. She wants to take you to dinner. And I was like,
Wow.
it didn't say I was at the airport. I'm like, okay, when and where? Tell me. And she texts me when and where. And I was like, I've got nothing to wear. I had to go down, act like a crazy lady to British Airways to get my suitcases off the plane. And I had to sit for an hour, but they got me my suitcases and I booked a hotel room in LA and I ended up going to Sophia's house and meeting her and spending like 3 hours with her, having some wine and caviar.
Wow.
And it was just the most incredible experience. But Butterfly Effect, we are now partnered with their PR agency. So now we're working with them. So yeah, it's just so cool.
Incredible. What's the lesson from that? For people who are like out there building something right now, like what do you take away from that experience?
Be delusionally optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I wasn't going over there to meet Sophia, but I was going over there. I honestly don't know. It was a cool story. I think it was just for the content. But I don't know, like just do it. I had so many like negative comments on the TikTok being like, oh my gosh, just send a PR box like everyone else does. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to be like everyone else. So don't be like everyone else.
I think that like the lesson of that saying like do it for the plot, it's kind of like that applies to business a lot of the time. If you're building in public and you are taking people along for the ride, it's like make the story more interesting. Go do the more interesting thing. And also just like for life, like what a cool story. What an experience.
Like that is probably like the coolest experience of my life to date.
What was she like?
Like exactly what you think she's going to be. Like, she's such a lovely girl. Like, yeah, I have so much respect for her. She's so nice. And her husband, I met her husband, Elliot, and he was just the coolest dude. Yeah, I can't believe I did that. And it's opened so many doors and it cost me a few $1,000s to do it, but the best few $1,000s I've spent.
And you think about what a legacy brand would pay to have any kind of affiliation with her.
Yeah.
And millions. And being someone who is scrappy, you are a real person at the forefront of the brand. So it humanizes it. She buys into your story and it just like unlocks these opportunities that puts you light years ahead of like what these legacy brands are trying to do.
And you have to take advantage of what the legacy brands can't do.
Totally.
Because if they started doing what we do, they wouldn't be as...
It wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. So do what I used to say, oh, I wish I had their budget.
Yes.
And like, I kind of still do, but I would still do it scrappy.
You would do it. It would also like look very different.
It would
the way
look
that
very
you would
different.
execute.
Yeah. So I think take advantage of not being a legacy brand because honestly, I think it is such an advantage these days.
Yeah. Okay. I love that story. That's incredible. I want to talk about like funding and money and milestones. How have you funded the business?
We've done it. We've done it all ourselves. We've borrowed money. I hate money. I'm so over money this year. But we haven't gone down the investor route. I think we need to now or very soon. Next year, we definitely will. We have lots of people wanting to invest in the business. This year's just been a bit of a tricky year. So, yeah, I hate money this year, but I'll love it next year. But we've self-funded it, done business loans here, there when we needed. Wasted a lot of money, but we've learnt not to.
When you launched it, were you just using savings or
I've worked full time for the first 2 years.
Wow.
Nearly 2 years.
What was the inflection point to quit?
It was COVID. I was an EA for a bunch of C-suite executives, men. Love them. But a lot of the people got stood down because it was in the hotel industry. I did not, but I was doing hundreds of people's jobs all at once. And I just felt so undervalued. I got called back early because all these people left and I just had a cesarean. still bleeding from my vagina.
Yeah.
And I went back to work, asked for a pay rise and got told no. So I was like, why am I
Bye.
here? And so, but I gave myself a goal. I'm going to get into David Jones and then I'll quit. And I got in straight away. So I
Wow.
was, boy, bye. Never looked back.
And I want to talk about hiring. So you've
Mm.
mentioned your content person, Jasmine, a
Yeah.
few times. And I just think having someone who is with you every day and helping to turn the story of you as a founder into
Yeah.
content is just so
So much
powerful. Like
easier.
I really want that. I have that in New York, but I'm not in New York all the time. So
Yeah.
now I need to find someone in Sydney who can do
Well, you
that
should
for
work with
us.
Jasmine because she actually just left Who Was Elijah very amicably.
Oh,
But it was
no.
just time for her to move on. Now she's doing she's freelancing. So she's still working with us,
Okay.
but freelancing. I'll give you her
Does
details.
she want
She's
to like do
awesome.
her own thing? Is that the
Yeah,
vibe?
she's doing her own thing.
Okay.
And I think I burnt her out.
Yeah.
I think I
She's
burnt
like,
her
I
out.
can't fly to LA and London.
Yeah, I think I burnt her out. I love her to death.
Yeah.
I think we're going to lunch or dinner next week.
Yeah.
But I love her. Still working with her.
Okay.
Now I have Sienna, who's been in the business for a couple of years now, and now she's following me around and doing content. So I think it's so important to have someone not with you 24/7, but someone that can be
do
there.
it.
But what I'm getting good at, I'm vlogging today.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at vlogging as well, which I sometimes gets more views.
My days are so, like, I feel like it's just me in front of the computer half the time. How do you come
Yeah.
up with those ideas of how do I make this an interesting story? Because you also do that really well. I see you in your car telling your stories about the business. And I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know. I've trained myself to do it, and
Yeah.
I think it's coming out of my shell a little bit.
yeah.
Because I wish if I did it 3 years ago, I'd probably be on a yacht right now. But we're here now and we're doing it now.
Maybe next year or the year after.
Maybe I think I was getting frustrated at myself for not doing it.
Yeah.
So now it's like I've just made it a part of my, not every day, but trying to make it a
Trying to
part every day.
prioritize it.
Yeah.
So who was your first hire? Or what was your first hire? What role?
Filling perfume in my garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, while I was at work, paying them cash.
And then how have you built the team? Like, what does it look like now? You're 7 years in.
7 years in, we've just brought on a head of brand marketing, Britt. If anyone ever tries to poach her from me, I'm coming after them because I love her. She's awesome. She's been with us for like 3 months now, and I feel like she is like helping us. I think what we went through this year is because we've gotten to a stage where we're not solidifying who we are as a brand. I think like it's getting maybe a little bit boring just showing the warehouse stuff. Like we're not really a startup anymore, so we need to start showing that more elevated campaign messaging. And I was telling you how excited I was on the Zoom out the front this morning. The agency that we're working with, it's like, I can't wait for the world to see the new version of Who is Elijah. And it's because of Brit's telling us like, oh, we need to do this. This is why this year's been a bit tough because you sort of like, we've grown, but not a lot.
You need to like clarify what that messaging is. And because it's like, it sounds to me like it lives within you and you need to figure out how to like externalize it so other people can carry that vision for you.
Exactly. It took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
If I could put them together.
Because like I'm in exactly the same position right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we have Brit head of brand. We still have quite a lean team, to be honest. We maybe like 25 people, but we still do all the production in our warehouse. So half of that is warehouse staff. Yeah. So it's myself and Adam running the business. We have some really great advisors that we work with that like for finance and just advisory. Our marketing team's 3 people, myself, Brit and Sienna.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but now we're outsourcing to agencies. So it's kind of small team, but agencies.
And are you guys all in the office every day?
I just made it mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I again, this is something that I talk about on the show all the time around navigating that and what it looks like. And my team are mostly in New York, some are in LA, and I'm like, I'm in Australia, and that's really hard now. And everyone's remote and like very fragmented, and I'm kind of trying to figure out like what that
we
looks like
with
moving
that in
forward
London.
because it slows you down so much. Like it really does slow you down. So I always ask that question. I'm really interested in how people navigate it. I remember you talking about, I think on one of your TikToks about spending like $20K a month or something wild on a business coach.
I still got him. He's great.
$20K a month on a business
$20K a
coach.
month. I know. He's great.
What magic has he unlocked for you? Like save me $20,000 a month and give me the coaching.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how much he's saved us, but he definitely has.
Yeah.
He was like the CEO of Tom Brown. Can't remember all the data. So Josh, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I swear I listened to you. But he was the CEO of Tom Brown, and he got Tom Brown from almost bankruptcy to like a 500 million US brand or something crazy like that. It's just like and Adam hasn't been a CEO before, so it's also like having someone for Adam to learn from.
That's your husband and co-founder.
For me, it's just like it's getting us out of trouble.
Yeah.
What I mean? And when we do investor deals, Josh will really help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like having another business partner.
Mhm.
I don't know how to explain it, but he's great. Adam loves him.
How do you like work with him for people who are
Mhm.
interested in coaching and
Mm.
like what's the relationship? Do you have like set calls? Are you guys on WhatsApp?
Can
What's the
call him
vibe?
whenever we
Yeah.
want for 20 grand.
Yeah, you do.
He should be invited for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, call him whenever we want. He's in the office at least one day a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we see him a lot. We speak to him every day.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And he's just someone that helps you like sense check big decisions and that kind of
Correct.
thing.
Yeah, helps us any issues that we're having with employees. Honestly, like everything that a CEO does, he does alongside Adam. And it's just like a sounding board as well.
Yeah. Okay, super powerful. For people who want to find and hire a business coach, like what advice do you have?
We got introduced to him. Yeah, I don't know. We got introduced to him. I think there's a lot you can DM me and ask. I do have a good network, but I think DM other people and ask who they're working with. You want recommendations. You don't want to just find someone on an Instagram page and hand over 20 grand. Yeah, I would talk to ask them who they're working with and call them up and get true references, because there's some we've had, other people we've had in the past have been terrible, just like money takers.
So at the top of the show, we talked a lot about how you've had this kind of like transformation in confidence as you've been building the business. And as you've been talking, I've been thinking about this a lot, because I think a lot of people are like, may this transformation find me? Like, how do I become this? And I want to know that as you reflect on that, like, what are the lessons here for people who are maybe in that first few years and they don't feel that confidence and they don't want to show up on social, or like they don't feel confident about leading a team and being like at the front of that meeting? And what, like, when you reflect on that yourself, like what lessons come out of it for you and what advice would you give to others?
I sometimes don't like giving this answer because I don't want it to sound superficial, but such a turning point for me was when I got my teeth done, because I hated my teeth. Even my wedding day, my mouth was like, because I just hated my teeth. And everyone in my life will tell you the minute you walked out of that dentist office, I had the confidence to start talking on camera, and it was such a turning point of the business.
Yeah.
I hate giving that because it sounds superficial, but everyone has that one thing about them.
But it also sounds really easy
But
compared to like 10 years of therapy.
Yeah. It was 3 hours in a dentist chair. I went through my photo album the other day and I'm like, you can see the happiness and confidence in my face one day, like the day I got them. So if there's something like that's holding you back, go and change it.
Go and do the thing.
Go and do the thing, I
Yeah.
think. And then I think it's following women who inspire me as well. And like Emma Grede, I'm obsessed with her. So like I've listened to her on the way here today. She inspires me so much. And I have her in the back of my head now because I listen to her so much. And I think just finding those little things that make you get 1% better every day.
So I'm sitting here like 1,000 weeks pregnant and I'm always really curious in how people navigate the chapter of life where you're building the business and building the family and doing all the things at the same time, because I don't know. I think when I was in like my early 20s, I always thought I would like build and exit a business, or build a business to a point where I wasn't as like heavily involved. And then I would go and have babies. And then it would be like this whole separate thing and I'd be like a different person. But actually the reality is like everything fucking happens at the same time and you just have to do it. And I want to know what your like days and your structure and everything looks like, because I think a lot of people who listen to the show are like either nervous about having a family as well, because they hear all these stories about you're going to lose your drive, you're going to lose your career, nothing's possible, but like you're on a plane all the time. I'm on a plane every month, and like it's not super easy, but it is doable. And I want to know like what your days and weeks look like and how you structure that.
I'm the most unstructured person ever.
I like to hear this because I'm also like that, and it's like a real fault.
If I sat here and tried to say I'm very structured, my Adam would probably call you up and be like, she's a liar.
Is he structured?
Yeah.
You need someone.
He's so structured. Look, I accidentally fell pregnant twice.
Okay.
And I'm so glad that I did.
Yeah.
With my husband.
Yeah.
That sounds a bit promiscuous. But I was 25 when I had, I was 25 when I had George. I'm 31 now. So I got mine out of the way very quickly.
Yeah.
So glad that I did that.
Yeah.
I think if Adam said to me, now we had no children, let's have kids now, I'd be like, no, I'm having way too much fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got it out of the way. I've got a great career. I've got a great husband. I've got great kids. I've got a great life, but it's not all great every day.
Yeah.
Everything gets sacrificed at some point. I do sacrifice a lot of time with my kids, I'll be honest, but and sacrificing it, they're going to have a great future.
Yeah.
Like they get to go on lovely holidays,
Yeah.
and they moved to another country this year and went to a very expensive private school. Like they're fine. But then sometimes I'll sacrifice seeing my friends for a couple months because I want to be mum. So I'm switching alter egos all the time.
Yeah.
But I think you can have it all, but you can't have it all at once.
I think you also just need to lean into the season that you're in. So the last thing I want to ask you is for resource recommendations. And first of all, I'm like curious about these like agencies that you're working with that you love, if you can recommend them, but also tools that you're using to run the business.
I don't run the business. My Adam does. My Adam does.
Your Adam.
Oh, okay. Agencies I am good at. I'm very hands-on with that. Bursty, who I was just on the phone with downstairs, they just presented the most incredible thing that I've ever seen. It gave me the biggest business boner I've ever had. So I'm going to really highly recommend Bursty. I love podcasts. I think listen to all the podcasts you can. Listen to Emma Grede. I think she's awesome. And just surround yourself with people who want to see you succeed and help you succeed.
I am so impressed by what you've done since we last spoke. And I love, love, love following what you're doing. I'm going to put the link to all of your socials, everything in the show notes, because I just think it is inspiring for anyone who wants to do this. Like they should follow you just for the inspiration and the ideas as well.
Everyone told me I was an idiot for doing this, but
starting the brand.
Yeah, but here we are, making millions of dollars. Thank you.
I just wanted to jump in and end the show with a quick thank you and shout out to all of our paid Business Bestie subscribers. Business Besties bypass literally years of networking by getting access to all of the people that you need to build your dream business. You also get invited to exclusive monthly group business coaching call sessions where you can speak to experts and founders and ask them all of those questions that you just can't Google. You can cancel anytime. Head to bestie.femalefounderworld.com or click the link in the show notes for more.